There are two worlds running at the same time, and most people only ever see one of them. The world you can see, your circumstances, your relationships, your daily struggles. That is not the whole story. The Bible says, what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. The unseen world is the more powerful one. God operates primarily in the unseen, and He is working on your behalf right now in ways you cannot perceive. Most of your anxiety comes from evaluating God's faithfulness based only on what your eyes can see. But if you could see the full picture, everything would look completely different from what fear is telling you today. In Daniel chapter 10, Daniel had been fasting and praying for 21 days with no response and no answer. Then an angel arrived and said something that should permanently change how every believer approaches prayer. Your words were heard on the first day. The answer was dispatched on day 1, but a battle delayed its arrival. 21 days where nothing appeared to be happening, and God was moving the entire time. What you call silence is not emptiness. What you call unanswered is not ignored. There is a war being fought for you. Daniel did not stop praying. He did not interpret the silence as rejection. He held on, and the breakthrough arrived. If Daniel had stopped praying on day 2, he would have missed the answer that was already moving toward him. Your breakthrough may already be in motion. What remains is your persistence, while you cannot yet see it coming. Now here is something most believers are never taught. Spiritual resistance is not evidence of God's absence. Spiritual resistance is evidence of your significance. The enemy does not waste resources fighting what is not working. If you are facing unusual opposition, unusual delays, unusual warfare, that is a signal, not a sentence. In the book of Job, God Himself drew attention to Job and said, "Have you considered my servant?" God highlighted him. Now here is something most believers are never taught. Spiritual resistance is not evidence of God's absence. Spiritual resistance is evidence of your significance. The enemy does not waste resources fighting what is not working. If you are facing unusual opposition, unusual delays, unusual warfare, that is a signal, not a sentence. In the book of Job, God Himself drew attention to Job and said, "Have you considered my servant?" God highlighted him. The attack came because of Job's righteousness, not despite it. His suffering was not punishment, it was proof. The same principle applies to you. What God has placed in you is worth fighting over. The enemy knows it, even if you don't. Ephesians 6:12 says, "Our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against spiritual forces in heavenly realms." Your real battle is not with your boss, your finances, your past, or your circumstances. It is in the unseen realm, and God has already equipped you for it. The armor of Ephesians 6 is not decorative. It is functional. It works. Now I want to tell you something that will bring you real peace if you let it fully land inside your spirit today. There are things God is protecting you from right now that you do not even know about. Invisible shields around your life. Relationships He redirected you away from before they could destroy you. You never knew how much damage was avoided. Opportunities He closed before they could trap you. Paths he blocked before they could derail everything you were built for. Psalm 91 says he will command his angels to guard you in all your ways, whether you feel it or not. God has assigned angelic protection to your life, and that protection operates even when you are completely unaware of it. You will never know on this side of heaven how many times God intervened invisibly and silently on your behalf. How many accidents were prevented? How many evil intentions against you were turned back before they ever reached you? How many spiritual attacks were absorbed before they could land? The protection is constant, even when it is invisible. The closed doors you grieved, some of them were shields. God was not withholding your blessing. He was protecting your life. The relationships that ended, some of them were removals. The plans that collapsed, some of them were rescues. God is not just working for your good. He is working to protect you from evil you cannot even perceive or name. Now here is what this means for how you actually live right now, in this season, in this situation you are carrying. First, stop interpreting silence as absence. Daniel's 21 days of silence contained an active answer already moving. Your season of stillness may contain the most intense spiritual activity your life has ever seen. Do not mistake quiet for empty. Second, stop fighting visible battles with only visible weapons. Prayer is not symbolic. It is the actual tool of engagement. Every prayer you pray is a weapon discharged into spiritual territory. Do not stop firing because you cannot see the impact. Third, begin thanking God for what He has already blocked that you do not know about. This sounds strange until you try it. Pray this: God, I thank you for every attack against my life that you have already turned back without my knowledge. I thank you for every trap you avoided on my behalf. I thank you for protection I will never see evidence of here. That prayer shifts your posture from anxious and reactive to grateful and grounded. It changes how you move through your day. It positions you to trust God not only with what you can see clearly, but with all that you cannot see at all. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight. That is not a suggestion. It is a complete system. Lean not on your own understanding. Your understanding says, nothing is happening. Your understanding says, God is not moving. The unseen world, the eternal, more real world, says the answer left heaven on day one. The battle is already underway. God's angels are engaged. What feels like the worst season of your life is being governed by someone who sees everything. He sees what you cannot see. He knows what you do not know. He is working with information you do not have access to. The same God who parted the Red Sea when Israel had nowhere left to go is the God standing guard over your life right now. The same God who kept Joseph through the pit, through slavery, through prison, is working the long plan on your behalf. The same God who showed up for Daniel in 21 days of silence hears every single word you have prayed. None of your prayers have fallen to the ground unheard. None of your tears have been ignored. God catalogs every one. Psalm 56:8 says He collects your tears in a bottle. He records them. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is lost. He is protecting you from things you don't even know about. And when you finally see the full picture, it will make sense. Every delay, every redirection, every door that closed, you will see it was the hand of a loving and sovereign God. Hold on through the silence. Keep praying through the waiting. Trust the God who works in the unseen on your behalf. He has never once looked away from you. Type "God sees it" in the comments if you believe that today. God sees you. Peace be with you.